Okay, let's go back to August of 2021, and you were
Okay.
running for this Republican nomination in the Senate seat in Pennsylvania, the one that ultimately Oz would get. And he only swooped in when you bowed out and he saw an opportunity. You actually are from Pennsylvania, and you decided to try throwing your hat in the ring. Then things exploded in your personal life in a way that caused you to drop out. And the allegations were, I was shocked because I remember you had just been on my show and you clearly has a ton of charisma. I remember saying, like, you don't look like the average Senate candidate. You don't act like the
Uh,
average Senate candidate. You got like, the tats going and you're the combat vet and the Bronze Stars. But then the next thing I heard like a month later was you had to drop out. And forgive me, but like the headlines in the media were abuser, a
mhm.
wife abuser, a child abuser. It was like, what? And I remember saying to my team, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Like, I want to know more. And as it turns out, that was a good instinct because the story is far different than that. And few in the media or even your detractors would really take the time to go look it up. So let's get into it. From
Okay.
your perspective, what happened? Why did the newspaper say that, and why do people still believe that?
Well, I I think that with regards to the media, their mission was clear, and it was to derail my Senate campaign. We were up by 20 points in the primary. We were outraising everybody in the field combined. We had just received President Trump's endorsement. Our internal polling more than 10 months out from the general election had us running neck and neck with John Fetterman, and that was prior to the world knowing about his stroke. We had a special thing going, Megan. And I
You
mean,
did.
my message to the people of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania was like, generally speaking, I don't like the Republican Party or the Democrat Party, but I'm running because I love this country. And that's what matters to me. And if you're a Democrat that's been voting Democrat your entire life, and maybe we disagree on certain issues, but you love this country, then you are more than welcome to stand with me and march with me and fight for this country. And I did everything that I could to bring people together, because ultimately I think that's what leadership is all about. And then the custody trial happened and it came out of left field. And I think that the focus was at that specific time was to derail my Senate campaign because we were running away with this thing. But um, leading up to, so I'll tell you this, to just give you a little bit of a timeline, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Um, I ran for
'Cause you
Congress.
prior to your running, you had been in a contentious divorce with your now ex-wife,
That
like, it
that's
you've
exactly
been
right, and
fighting
that's
that for a
that's
long time.
yeah. Now that's something that was not talked about at all, but I think a critical piece of information. The media led people to believe that this was all brand new, and that the woman I'm with now, I'm getting a divorce from, that my ex and I were together now. It really wasn't the case. I've been involved in my children's lives their entire life. I was the first person to hold them when they were brought onto this earth. Um, and in 2019, um, my ex consented to 50-50 custody. And for years thereafter, she and I shared custody with some conflict along the way because, if you're going through a divorce, everybody has conflict. Um, but everything was fine. I ran for Congress, in a highly contested swing district here in Western Pennsylvania, spoke at the Republican National Convention in prime time, spoke at 3 Trump rallies in front of tens of thousands of people. And when the media inquired into my divorce and my custody issues, my ex issued a joint statement with me. She stood with me and basically told the media to scram, saying that, while Sean and I have our differences, we love our kids very much. And a year later, that all changed. And I found myself in a 3-day custody trial with every media outlet in the country, either in the trial itself or cameras outside.
Mm.
And, Megan, divorce and custody issues are really, really tough. Um, and they're extraordinarily tough on children. And then you add to that the media being involved and exploiting every single thing in an attempt to paint me as something that I'm not. I have to say, outside of deploying to Afghanistan, I mean, this was 10 times worse than anything that I'd ever experienced in the military or prior to that. It was just
I'm
it's
sure
hard
that you can
it's
all
hard to
sort of
talk about
make it
even
out.
now. It's hard to talk
So
about even now.